What's up everybody, All Things Sports by McIntyre here, bringing you a brand new video today to talk about the newly released Adidas Ace 17 Plus PureControl soccer shoes. Depending on when this video goes up, these shoes were released a few days ago on Tuesday, November 22nd, and they are the next generation of the PureControl lineup from Adidas. So we're going to talk a little bit about the newly released 17 Plus, and we're going to talk a little bit about a few sort of hints and leaked content that I've seen online, which has led me to the conclusion that we haven't seen the last from the Adidas Ace 17 lineup. I believe we're going to see, hopefully in the next few days, a newly released 17 Plus PureControl. We're going to talk about that later on in the video. Right now, let's talk about the 17 Plus PureControl that was released. So, right here in my hand, I have the 16 Plus PureControl. These are mine. I own this shoe. I used this for pretty much all of 2016. It was my main shoe, and I really enjoyed the experience in it. It had this prime knit upper, a laceless design, two technologies that we hadn't seen in a mass release shoe. So it was a great experience. I really liked what this shoe had to offer. And like I said, I used it as my main everyday shoe. So what's the difference between the new one and this one? Well, to be honest, there really isn't all that much. The 17 Plus PureControl came out with the new iconic Predator colors, something that tons of Predator fans, myself included, love to see. It brought back the red, black, and white, and it looks absolutely phenomenal, and Predator fans like myself are extremely excited to see those colors back. But other than the colors and one or two differences, it really isn't that different from the 16 Plus PureControl. So the upper is the same, it's got the same collar, it's got the same laceless design here. They've introduced a new sort of woven pattern, at least in the forefoot area. It's still made out of prime knit, it still has non-stop grip, and it's still got that sort of synthetic coating that keeps its durability. It's also still got the three stripes here that act as your lateral support system. But other than the newly designed sort of 3D texture in the front, the upper hasn't really changed. The collar's the same, the laces are the same, and the three stripes are the same. The only big difference we saw was the introduction of boost technology in the sole plate right here. So if you see a picture of the new 17 Plus PureControls, there's this little window that's cut out here in the front. It basically just shows off the boost material. For those that don't know, boost is this super soft, super comfortable material that Adidas has produced using like little tiny white foam balls almost, and they've molded them together to create a super soft, comfortable outsole. And they're extremely popular in their running line, particularly with the Ultra Boosts or the Yeezys, and it's really comfortable. I myself own a pair of the Ultra Boosts, and they're fantastic. They're one of the most comfortable shoes I've ever owned. So they've brought that technology to the soccer world, and if anything, it's just going to make the boot even more comfortable. And that's basically it as far as new tech goes on the 17 Plus PureControls. I follow Unisport TV on YouTube. They're this big sort of soccer store. They do tons of videos online. They have a great channel, and they release a lot of very good content. So naturally, they were one of the first ones to get their hands on the 17 Plus PureControl. And the host that does a lot of their videos, J-Mike, a lot of you guys probably know who I'm talking about, did an unboxing or initial release first impressions video of the 17 Plus PureControls. And if you listen to what he said, there was a part in the video where, he was talking about some part of the shoe, and then he said, which you guys will see in the next few days. As soon as he said that, a little light bulb went off in my head, and I thought, okay, something's coming. And I came to that conclusion based off that sentence and some of the images I've seen online through websites like Soccer Bible, Footy Headlines, and even some Instagram accounts. These guys get access to pre-production models. Don't ask me how, I don't know, I wish I could. And then they show them off, what's about to come in the next year or even 2 years from now. If you look at the PureControl shoe, if you look at these images, you're gonna notice something completely different from the shoe that was released yesterday or 2 days ago or whenever you're watching this video. The 17 Plus PureControl has the exact same collar design and upper design as the 16 Plus right here. The images online have a brand new upper material. It's completely different than this one, and from what I can tell, it looks like Adidas has tried to address some of the issues that I experienced in this upper right here. This shoe is really good, but once it softens up, you get to a point where it softens up almost too much, like any other soccer shoe. The issue with this one is once it gets to that stage, there's no more lockdown. Given that there's no laces, you can't tighten the shoe anymore. So if it loses that initial sort of stiffness or lockdown, there's no way to get it back. So at about a month ago or 2 months ago, I didn't quite use this shoe as much because it wasn't as responsive anymore. So the new upper tightens this area there's a piece of synthetic that runs up the top of the laces area, and there's this little Adidas logo right here on the front. It's clearly visible that it's not the same upper as this one. So they've tightened up this area. It's a new collar design, something that looks far more snug, far more like it wraps your foot extremely, like nicely almost is the best way to describe it. And it looks like it's going to provide you with a very responsive laceless shoe that has tons of lockdown and is very, very responsive. So I'm really, really hoping that Adidas releases that shoe. So based off the line that J Mike said, based off these images I've seen online, I've sort of come to the conclusion in my head that Adidas is going to come out with another laceless PureControl shoe. If you read the articles that these pictures are associated with, you'll also see that they were sort of discussing a new title for this shoe. They might call it the PureControl, they might call it the MasterControl. That was the other name. So I think that Adidas is going to come out with, hopefully in the next few days, maybe another week or whatever it is going to come out with another laceless shoe called the 17 Plus MasterControl. And I think we're going to see that upper, that new design on those shoes, and then the PureControl will be available in this similar design, something that we all know and have already seen. So that's my opinion, that's my conclusion. J Mike sort of said, you know, you guys will see in the next few days what Adidas has in store. So based off that, based off the images I've seen, there's something that's different. It's a different shoe, something they haven't quite released yet. And the final little tip I have on that is I'm a big fan of FC Barcelona, so I follow all their practice videos online. I look at all their social media pictures that they post in their training sessions and all that kind of stuff. So a few days ago, there was a picture taken of Ivan Rakitic. Rakitic wears the Adidas Ace lineup. Okay, he uses the PureControl. If you look very, very closely at his shoe, he's wearing a different shoe than the ones that were released a few days ago. If you look very, very closely, you can see this sort of reflective piece of synthetic that's running up here, so you know it's not the same release. And you can also see the Adidas logo that they've placed here. So you know, based off that he's wearing a different shoe than the one that was released. One that looks like the ones I've seen in the leaked pictures. So I really, really hope that Adidas is coming out with this next generation, this MasterControl, if you will. The 17 Plus PureControl, the one that was released, it's very similar to this. I would like to see something new. I'm hoping that the MasterControl comes out. I hope that's actually a thing, and I believe it's going to be the best combination they can possibly come up with of prime knit, laceless, snug, lockdown, responsiveness, all the characteristics that you want in a soccer shoe to perform extremely well at the highest level. I think the MasterControl might be the next generation. It might be that next iteration in the ever-evolving sort of soccer world. This was just my opinion. It's just a conclusion I've sort of come to on my own based off of a couple little hints I've put together. And I really, really hope that we see that new MasterControl in the next week, in the next few days, whatever it is. So Adidas, please come through with that. I hope you see this video. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, please leave them down below in the comment section. Let's get a nice little discussion going. Do you think there's going to be a MasterControl? Do you think they're going to stick with the PureControl as it is? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Let's hope there's a MasterControl coming. And until then, take care, guys. We'll see you next time. Thank you guys very, very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, smash that like button, leave a comment, and consider subscribing for more videos. See you guys next time on All Things Sports by Mike McIntyre.